Ready to do this? Yeah. Should be a fun time. I'm going to be, yeah, kind of figured that we do some fun chats around some news today. Oh, God. What's up? Can you hear me? Yeah, y'all can hear me now. Cool. Hey, everybody. We ready to go today? It's going to be a good live. Yeah. Today's show is going to be really fun. I think yeah, it's good. I took about a week off. So I'm getting back into the swing of things. Been not a week off from going live. So should be fun though. Just getting situated. We've got some fun stuff to talk about today. So let's let Instagram join up. All right. What's going on? Aman, always in first. Love it. George, how you doing? I'm great. Yeah. Hey. How you doing? Friends of Figma Barcelona, what's up? Hola. How you doing? Or sorry, it's Barcelona, right? There you go. Quick question: how important is it to learn variables in Figma? They seem quite complex. Yeah, it's been fun making these videos lately about variables. And the truth is like you could probably get a job without knowing variables. However, I think that that having the ability to do variables really helps. Like basically, there's two reasons why you should do prototyping, right? There's either you're trying to like test an idea or you're trying to sell an idea, right? Testing probably doesn't need variables, right? You can just kind of like make sure that the flow feels right. You can get like the general gist, and then also to like the fact that it's a picture perfect prototype actually might affect the user input when you're doing a test, right? But if you have like kind of a rough around the edges prototype, it kind of helps with the interviewer to feel confident to say like to kind of talk shit about it, right? You want people to tear it up so that you can get that good test. Now, the other side though is when you're sharing your idea, like presenting it, that's where it's valuable. I actually used variables to sell an idea inside of my startup that I worked at last year, and there was this like huge rework that we were doing, and it needed arrow keys to like move to like really feel it to make sure that it felt right, and yeah, basically like. After going rounds and rounds of like, dude, it's good. Trust me. Don't worry. It's gonna feel really good. Then I made this banging prototype, and it all came together. And and I used variables for that. Luckily, variables had just come out, so I needed to test it, and then I had that ability. So yeah, there you go. What's going on? How you doing, Grace from North Carolina? Nice to meet you. Maybe from Arizona. Hey, everybody. I'm in Florida. I'm in Tampa, by the way. But all right, let's get into the show, shall we? We're going to freaking do it. So today, we're going to be talking about how Nike has an AI design tool. I'm going to talk about that in a second. Let's get into it. Then we got 2 portfolio reviews. I'm going to do a little breakout in the middle of that, and we're going to talk about spacing tactics because, in the portfolio reviews that I've been doing, I've been seeing a lot of miscues around spacing, and I want to just dive into my thoughts around that and why I do the spacing that way I do it. Then we're going to do 2 more portfolio reviews, and then we'll wrap it up with a chill chat. So you ready? I'm ready. Also, can we just talk about the quality of this camera right now? I got this camera like last week or the week before, and it was just, yeah, it's been really fun. I've been seeing myself very HD, and I've been like, oh my God, I got it. I gotta get a better skincare routine. So anyways, let's dig into it. We're gonna chat about news. So today, yesterday, this article was written and it was posted in the zine. And yeah, I think it's a really interesting thing to chat about, specifically around like. So look, Nike's cool, right? Like they're a cool brand, blah blah blah. They have good design, nice. I'm not here to chat about Nike or why I like Nike or dislike Nike. What I do want to talk about though is how they're using AI, and I think that it's really gonna be the way that we as designers use it in the future. So I just think it's really interesting how they did it. So let me dive into it. Here, I'm gonna try beefing it up. Nice. Okay, mobile view. Hell yeah. Okay. So basically, all this, like what they did was they had this generative model create like the layout of a shoe, right? And then they gave them to specific different types of athletes, right? Like, one was a sprinter or whatever. And then based on the responses and the replies and the asks from the individual people, like, Ajah Wilson or, Sam Kerr, like, what do you want out of this? And what changes do you feel are needed to be able to get more performance, right? And then what they did was they used that in their to go into a large language model and run a bunch of different outputs from that, right? And then it went back to humans. They did another generative, they kind of selected it, did another generative round, and I just think it's like a really interesting angle. Like, look how unique these shoes are. Like, what the hell is this shoe even? It's like a high heel without a heel, right? Super cool, interesting looking shoes. But I think the real juice here is not that oh, these are cool shoes, right? I think the real juice is, how are we as designers or creators of products going to be interacting with AI? And I think that this is one of the first big shots of real world use case where, if somebody said, hey, go draw a really unique shoe, right? I don't think any of these shoes would have been, on that list, right? Even maybe after some iterations or whatever, all that to say, I think that's a really interesting angle on how it's done in the world of generative AI mixed with design. So what do you think? Do you see this? Do you see the connection that I'm trying to draw to the UI side? Right where I'm sure you guys have seen Wizard or Creator AI, where they have basically you give them a thing and then it's it spits it out, right? I think the big trouble that I've always had with those tools is that really everything is a dance, right? Yeah, okay, it shoots you 5 concepts off of your one input, right? Hey, make this thing. Here's 5 concepts. Well, the struggle is that I can't refine those with AI as well. At least in an easy way, right? It's kind of almost starts from scratch. And then there's different pieces where it's hey, I like this one little part of it, but change everything else. Or, hey, everything is good, but this needs to move down. But when we do that, the spacing on everything else is going to get affected. So, keep that in mind, right? So I think that is what we as designers need, because that's what we're doing as designers, is we're always iterating on every little bit, right? So yeah, what do you think? It's more the human brain might have to have been able to think of. Yeah, and even beyond that, right? Even beyond just general creativity or hey, start from scratch and just go crazy. Even beyond that idea, it's more on okay, on that note of being able to constantly refine and iterate on every little detail on a design. Well, what if you could do that a million iterations in a few seconds, right? Not a few seconds, because AI takes minutes to generate shit, but again, you see what I'm saying? I think that's the future that we have as designers, is it's not going to be able to replace this, because there needs to be a human element, right? Because none of these shoes look actually wearable, right? Maybe they might help a little bit if you're actively sprinting, right? But then, I think there's that balance where humans kind of need to be a part of it, for at least for the foreseeable future. But hey, I see some people over on Instagram asking if I can give them a portfolio review. Definitely do that. You can always get one. What you can do is head over to this link right here, or in my bio link, right? But there's a bit.ly/rad-portfolio-reviews. Now, when you go there, it's going to take you to this link. Now, there's a button in here that's join the review queue. That's where you'll go join it. But one of the big ones that you want to actually look at is the view the queue, because basically I've switched up my live schedule. I'm going to go live 2 times a week for the foreseeable future. I might turn that up or down soon. I don't know. We'll see. But either way, even doing 4 portfolio reviews per session, we are all the way up to early July. So we've got a queue. It's coming. So just join that queue, and you can always rewatch it over on YouTube if you see that your thing got reviewed a different day that you weren't on the live. So yeah, check me out on YouTube. Blah blah blah. Input all your stuff. Blah blah blah. Great. So that's it. That's it for the Nike news. I think that it was just something that popped up on my feed, and I thought wow, this is a really interesting way to use AI as it relates to us designers. So all that to say, let's get into the next phase of the show. We are going to be talking portfolio reviews. And actually, this is the first time that somebody didn't, like, there's no name on this portfolio that I could find. I might find it later, but basically in that input form that I gave, basically you just have to input your URL and send a message if you wanted to. They didn't send a message and they just sent this Figma link. So anyways, all that to say, it is a big time question mark on who that second one is that we're going to be reviewing. But yeah, if you want to link on that Nike doc, I don't have like a handy one. Just Google Dezeen, Nike AI or something like that. I'm sure you'll find. That's how I found it, because I saw it pop up in my email this morning. But let's go. I want to get into Mohammed. So let's switch over the title cards. We are officially onto the second phase of the show. We've got portfolio reviews coming. Are you ready? We're gonna put 10 minutes on the clock, and we're gonna review this portfolio. 10 minutes started now. All right, Mohammed. Thanks so much for getting in the hot seat. Appreciate you and your time. Now, what I will say, I say this every time I pull up a Behance portfolio, is I don't like Behance portfolios. I don't like dribble portfolios. I think the real trouble is it's not even that, like you're not spending enough time or whatever. The biggest thing that I'm struggling with is that I don't know which of these projects to pick, right? Even just scrolling through this, like, what would make me as a hiring manager want to look at this one, right? Besides this one UI shot, and I hover over it, control panel UI. Okay, I guess that helps a little bit, right? But I have to hover just to see that. I really can't even get much context on like what you did or why you did it. Here you're showing tools and industry and device. Like, well, yeah, I already see that you've got web and mobile, right? Like there's two things here. I don't need you to list that out for me. What I would love to have is this a web design or is this a product design? How big was it, right? And all that can be done through adding context on your case study lists, right? And this is why I think that, I'm okay with you showing me, I'm really okay with you showing me your like a Behance link, right? Maybe on the homepage, it takes me to this Behance case study, right? I'm cool with that. Totally fine with that. My big problem, though, what I have with it is that, because you could do that for free. You can do that on like a staging link on Webflow or Wix or whatever, and then you can send them the case studies over there. Handcraft that homepage, send me to a Behance case study, and I'll be okay with that. But for now, it's on Behance alone, and so it's tough for me, right? I'm literally on a spot now where I can, if I'm looking at you as from a, maybe I'm going to hire this person to redo my website. Well, I could literally leave your portfolio and go find bigger web designers according to Behance, right? That might have more work than you as well. And so just all around, Behance is, I don't like Behance or Dribbble for that reason. So let's say I'll stop bitching and I'll get into the real stuff. What I'll do is I'll just look for stuff that has the most views. Let's see. Okay, a few got to, there you go, 290. All right. Shopping app mobile UI design. Okay. I mean, InDesigns look pretty good. Sign in and up screens. Okay. No strategy to think of. Let's try finding some other strategy somewhere. Okay, here's some strategy. Very nice. Okay. Cool. So the hero section, we've got a good layout. We've got some good UI at the end that's shown. This UI is a bit confusing of an experience for me, but maybe contextually it's just out of context for me and that's why I'm getting thrown off. But can I show us a great profile after? Of course I can. I'll actually show you some looks of somebody who I've hired before. So actually, shit, no, I think he said that his portfolio is down right now. let me check. I'll check after. Maybe I'll go text him. Hold on. I'm pausing the clock. Yeah. Peter. Yo, dude, you got a staging link for your portfolio? Cool. All right. For later. All right, let's get back into it. Play in it. So I like it. I like UI at the top. Google Meet as a tool is very confusing. I don't think that's necessary to show. I think having Figma's okay, but scope of 40 screens is a bit confusing to me as well. Like, why does the 40 screens matter, right? Maybe you only needed 20, right? But if you design 40, that's a good size project. I just like, yeah, I think these last two lines, the timeline and the scope, both should be cut. 4 weeks is not a long enough timeline for me to be interested or feel like you sat there and constantly iterated on it, right? What's up, Boomar? How you doing? Hey, design. Oh, hey, Prashad. How you doing, too? I didn't see you guys over on YouTube. Might be. All right. So, you know, we're sitting here in Behance, and look, I could stretch this screen out a bit, but, you know, even still, I can't really see this UI, right? Therefore, it's useless to show at all, right? All I can see is this empty state screen, which is a weird one. And you've got two empty states on this one list, which if you dropped one, you could size the whole row out bigger. So just, yeah, I think this is a miss right here, this one. But anyways, introduction to the Joopy app. Entertainment, tours, hangout. Yeah, solve problems that face users regarding the old UI and complex. Yeah. Okay, so here's my thing. Hey, the old users had issues, and we also wanted to add features for the new users. That's literally every design project ever, right? Every design project ever. So what were the issues that the users were having, right? What's the data that you had that incited this, right? Like just a little bit of something more would have helped, even if this is a fake project. Like you know, you say that it's a redesign though. So if it's like, hey, you know, based on the reviews of this app that I didn't actually design, I redesigned it. But based on the reviews, we went and did this. Like, whatever. Just anything that will be an inciting incident for the reason why you went and designed it, right? That's what we're doing as designers. We are iterating, right? And so I think, like, yeah, this purpose is very flat. And the trouble is the purpose in the inciting incident of every design project is literally like the foundation, and all of the strategy that comes afterwards is built on that problem, right? Like, hey, this was happening, so I started by confirming that this was a problem. I then said, well, what is actually causing this problem? And then I found, you know, what was causing the problem, and then we came up with some solutions. We tested those, and then here's the designs of those, right? That's a fucking case study right there. That's it, you know. But all of it is based on that inciting incident, that's inciting issue. You know what I mean? So, anyways, all right, we'll leave it there. Discover, define, develop, deliver. Yeah, I mean, that's okay. But again, like, I'm about to see this work process. I don't need that nailed down. Stakeholders discovery session. Cool. Complete, redesign, rebranding due to the growing market. Cool. Okay. I mean, this is okay. This is pretty good. It's definitely a little bit too much, like too lengthy. A little bit less words. Due to the growing market of entertainment, they are looking to expand in the Saudi market. You could just say they're looking to expand in the Saudi entertainment market, right? Like, in the future. Like, that would cut that sentence in half, make it so that you could size that up, give an icon on these instead of bullets. Just little stuff like that make the visualizations a little bit more entertaining, a little bit easier for me to be doing this. Boom, okay, boom, okay, boom, okay. Right, that's what I'm doing as I'm reviewing portfolios, because I just reviewed 20 other portfolios. I'm here now, and I'm trying to decide really quick on a gut instinct, and then if I want to even know more about you, and then I'm going to go look at that strategy in more detail. And yeah, visualizations really help with that. So, competitors analysis. Cool. I like this. This is a great visualization here. Yeah, I like this visualization a lot. I think that really nails it of like who they are, what the problems are too. That you're basically like, you came up with like a rubric that you're trying to fit into, right? So I think that's great. Those are really good. All right. Cool. So you got a problem statement. Poor navigation info. Let's move this up. Like, let's cut this into 1/3 the size and put this up here, right? I think that's what was missing for me. Insufficient task completion, limited personal. Yeah, I mean, all this is great. And again, I think you could find a way to visualize this if you do want to keep it down here. like with icons and stuff like that. Just make it where I can scan, right? Okay, cool, good flow. All right. Yeah, I like this. This is about as much. This is about the most that you want to show hand-drawn wires. Probably even less, but I think it's good. I think it's really good. Oh, cool. I love to see a mood board in a case study. That's really nice. I don't see that too often. When I do, I like it a lot. Because then I could also test your UI, right? I see all of what you were trying to accomplish from a UI perspective. So what does it look like at the end? Yeah, where'd the moods go, dude? Let's see this, right? This looks like very material design, which is okay. But I don't see a single material design in your mood, right? Man. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if it's hitting for me. If you're gonna put if you're gonna put moods in here, your UI better feel like those moods, right? Or I better be able to pick out like, oh yeah, I see how they did these cards. Yep, that's how they did the cards down here, right? Nope, that didn't happen. That didn't happen down here. You know? Yeah, that really didn't happen. Bummer. That might be okay. Here we go. Oh, we're at 10 minutes. Okay. I mean, overall the UI is okay. It's definitely, it feels very UI kitty, right? Which is okay. Just if you're throwing a mood board up, like give me the juice on that. You know what I mean? I would say overall this case study, it seems pretty in depth on the details down here. I do think some of that beginning stuff was a little shallow, or like maybe just cut a lot of this shit up here and just get right to the juice so that I can scan better for those strategy spots. I feel like otherwise, like the overall case study layout and stuff is great. The pace is good too when you're getting here. Like I can break it up, home, cool. Okay, business screen, cool. You give me details on those too. So I love all that. I think that's really great. So it's just the UI is a bit low mark for me. The actual final designs, it's tough. Like look at that's probably like an 8-point font right there. You know what I mean? And then just like the layout is really crammed, and that's why we do mood boarding, right? It's so that we don't have crammed UI like this, right? And so, anyways, all I have to say, the case study's pretty good. The case study's like a good solid 7. The design's a solid 4, maybe 4.5. And so, yeah, there you go. And then it's a Behance portfolio, so it's also a little bit of a negative. So just keep going. I would say really work on the bridge from your mood board to the actual designs, right? Like the reason we mood is go get moods is so that we don't, we're not just designing off of fucking gut. You know what I mean? And it feels very much like you were just designing off of gut here. Right? You've got these ideas in your head and they don't end up looking right at the end. And it's because you're not trying to you're using these as a leverage point to be able to go pull elements from this and then Frankenstein it into the strategy that you have. So I submitted my portfolio. When are you going to review the portfolio? Let's see. We could check it. What's your portfolio, Umar? Looks like late June or early July. It's a bit of a wait. Sorry. Yeah, we reviewed all of these so far, and then we're reviewing these 4 today. Yeah, but basically that's how I do it is first come first serve. So these people, submitted it, about almost a month ago, and they're starting to get queued up now. So yeah. Yes, there is a platform where you can submit these though. It's in my bio link. In my bio link, you can get into portfolio reviews right here, and you'll find it there. All right, let's go. Hey, Pumpe, I haven't seen you in a bit. How you doing? What's a recommended number of screens to present in the case study to show that your UI without going overboard? I would say there's not a limit, right? It's a limit of how much can you show in that one project, right? When you're doing large projects, it's really hard to, to actually talk about it, because like there's so much that went into it, right? So what I like to do when I'm doing like long-term projects is pick one project that we did and then really dive into that. And then that's like not overwhelming or overbearing, and I could also go more in detail on the interview if I want to at that point, right? Otherwise, though, if it's a single project that might have a lot of screens in it, I would say again anything that is worth that shows the strategy, right? Like setting screens probably isn't necessary, right? Onboarding is only necessary if there was like a real detailed process to it. If you just threw together some login fields and then asked like 2 questions, probably not worth it. But if it was like a test and we refined it and all that, like that's where onboarding is definitely worth showing. But then stuff like tangential though, go user flow by user flow, right? It's this was a thing that addressed the problem that we initially had. Here's the screens that we did for that, right? And then we tested it and it worked. And then we did the same test with another group, but also like a whole different user flow. So not the same test at all. Hey, Zozelia, thanks so much for following me over on TikTok. Appreciate you. Yo, what's up, Kyle? I'll push it. We'll see. So I'm really trying to keep it honest and just go first come, first serve. Yeah. Question. My case study is a little long. I was thinking to hide a part and let the user decide if they want to expand the section and keep reading to avoid scrolling. That's an interesting idea. I kind of was just talking about that, Karina, of like how to prioritize case studies. Because it's really hard. It's really hard to do that. And so I think that try to break it. Like, why do I need to see more details in the case study? Consider that. Why, me as a hiring manager, do I need to know more details? Like, for one, it's, did I not see enough of your process? Did I not get enough of like a view of your end results? Like, how good are you at UI? How good are you at bridging strategy to UI? How memorable are you? Blah blah blah. Like, that's kind of like the boxes you need to check, right? Now, if you're going for like more of a senior or lead role, then you're probably going to need to do more data and more showing of an iteration, right? But again, it's like keep it siloed, where it's like, we designed this thing, and then we tested it, and then there was some data that showed that it wasn't working like we wanted to, and so we did these things, so like it's more of like, again, it's like still siloed, but then it's like more long term, because really what I need to know is, if I'm going to throw you on something, what should I expect, right? What should I expect? That's the real thing that I need to know. So I don't need to like see every screen of an app, right? To know that, to know what your process is and all that. But maybe you do. So like try to find that line for yourself. Like zoom out, take a week off, and then come back to it and read it and be like, is this dragging on? Does this do more than what's needed? And blah blah blah. I think I'm gonna do these lives around this time of day. Now I bumped it back a little bit. So, all right, let's put 10 more minutes on the clock, and let's get into it. Okay. I have a better new job by the time you review mine. I love it, Kyle. Hey, that would be fucking awesome if I jump on, do a live, and then you already have a job, right? And you don't even need me to review your portfolio. That'd be so cool. Hopefully it happens before then, though. Okay, so this is the first question mark name portfolio. I don't know whose this is, and this is like, kind of the fucking thing. The feedback I'm gonna give you is if I don't even know, I guess, okay, are you just trying to get me to review the work? Because that's okay. I can do that. I'd like, just give me some context next time. If you've submitted something like this, give me some context about what you want me to review, because it's kind of difficult, right? We got a web design, and it's responsive, so that's cool. Design looks okay. Layout's okay. It looks a little early, early 2010s. It feels, So there's that. This border is too much. Do you see how we got border than border right here? We don't want that. You know what I mean? Especially two different size border radiuses. These might even be the same border radius. Let's see. Radius 30. Radius 30. Yep. As I suspected. But when you got this, like this, you either need to scale this way out, move this way further out to the left, or like you definitely, and in general, you have to lower the opacity or the contrast of this border. It's way too dark. Yeah. Okay, we'll get into this. It looks okay. Yeah, I mean the layout's kind of nice on those cards. I like them. Okay. Yeah, again, I just don't really know what to review on this. The margins here are off, right? This is just a little bit bigger than this, right? Maybe just a few pixels only. Like this, the gap from here to here should be at least half of what this is, right? And it doesn't feel like that's the case on this. And in general, I just do not like rounded input fields. I'm okay with rounded like this. These are okay when you've got like really big fields like this. But when you got a form with a bunch of fields like this, rounded just makes the everything off, right? Because look at this. Now you've got this guy, which is, very far indented. And it has to be for the rounding. Now, you actually did do the spacing on the rounding here, okay. But it just is like one of those design decisions that add up to where the form looks really, really wonky after a while. So, yeah. Oh, cool. Here's the presentation. Oh, look at that. Okay. Again, this is why you don't just send me Figma project links. Is I don't know what I'm supposed to look at, how or why. You know what I mean? So yeah, just one thing I wanted to call out. Okay. Yeah. Okay. I mean, I get it. I get like the steps you took, but why'd you take them? I mean, it's a fake project, so that's okay. But yeah, I don't know. Would have loved a little bit more context on this. The mobile looks okay. Oh, you actually dropped the box on the mobile, which is great. You should do that. Just drop the box on the desktop too, though. If you're feeling it over there, you're probably going to feel it here too, right? And this is all the same size and like, centered and everything right. So I think like that would have got you the juice you wanted without that box over there. What is all this? Iterations. Oh, that's cool. Okay. Oh, look at that. You actually tried this one. That's what we got here. Thank you for sharing your work. From the UX perspective, it's not clear if you are offering flights, hotel rooms. Okay. Yeah. I mean, I think that this one was more, is okay on a UX perspective. And probably better UI than what you finalized on. Yeah, pink accessibility is always tough. Okay, I mean, I think this is okay. I just don't really know what to do more than what I just said. Where it's like, the design's okay. It's good for a test project. I think, like, yeah, would have loved a little bit more context on this one. And I'm just going to leave it there. That's all I got. Question mark. Thanks for being on the hot seat. Appreciate you and your time. Now, what we're going to do, we're going to flip over to a nice little tutorial, okay? So what I want to do is, we were just talking about spacing a little bit there. I'm going to talk more about spacing in this design tactics tutorial. If you want to come hang with me on the live, come on over. If you happen to be on a computer, come join up with me. It's this link, bit.ly/rad-live-hangs, okay? Let's go for it. I'm going to turn on a timer of 10 minutes as well so we can get into it because, yeah, I want to stick to a timeline today, if we can. All right. Let's do a spacing tutorial. So what we're going to do is we're basically going to recreate this. I'm going to explain how I do the spacing, why I'm doing the spacing the way I am, and all that. So let's just dig into it, shall we? 675 by 812. All right, all right. Got somebody coming in the file. What up, what up, what up? Hello, hello. All right. So, yeah, well, let's just grab like this font so we can work off of it. Okay, cool, it's enter. And I forgot my Creator Micro at my house, and I didn't bring it to the studio. So I might be moving a little slow using Windows shortcuts over here. So let's dig into it. Okay. So we've got Good Morning Tyler. Now we want to have an intro to this card slider. So so this, since it's 8 a.m. Here's some breakfast recipes. All right, gotta size that down. Let's move that down to like a 13. Okay. So yeah, I just kind of dragged it down in general. But yeah, we're at 30 pixels. Maybe let's bump it to 32 right there. I'm gonna put that in an auto layout to keep this consistent. And now I'm gonna duplicate that, and then yeah, I'm gonna put an auto layout on this guy as well to create the box. So we're 30 pixels from the edge. Let's bring this down to 28, right? And then we'll move it here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right. I probably could have done that in a better way. But either way, we've got a. Yeah, I can. Oh yeah, let me drop it in the chat. Oh gosh, I gotta go comment inside of YouTube chat. Hold on. Yeah. bit.ly/rad live hangs. There you go. Cool. Come on over whenever you want. All right. So I'm going to change this to, Greek yogurt. And berries. Sweet. All right. So I'm going to size this. I'm going to hold Alt and go to make that a fill. Actually, let me show you the layers panel. There you go. So I just made this a fill by double clicking while holding Alt. I'm going to add some padding here. Let's just start. I kind of do it like this, where I just like sort of wing it a little bit in the beginning, and then I refine it to specific numbers that fit with a 4-pixel grid is what I go for. Let's go with here and make that. All right, cool. I'm gonna just turn up the heat here. Again, I love this. I love the Creator Micro because there's a bunch of stuff that I use in there. So the fact that I don't have them here is very annoying, but let's just start here. Let's just keep going. Yeah. How big was this? 21. So let's go 21 plus an 8 burger. Cool. All right. Duplicate that down. Oh, there we go. Let's put some spacing here. So this is the first. This is supposed to be a spacing tutorial. So let's talk spacing. So this was 32 pixels right here, right? So what we need to do on the next section down, right? Since it's 8 a.m., talk about these cards, right? Like that's what this is. This thing is not for the page. It is for the section. Therefore, we need to make sure that this spacing right here is no more than 16 pixels, in my opinion. It should be about half, right? Ideally, it's even lower. It's probably 32 times 0.4. So yeah, ideally it's closer to like 12, right? And because look at this. Right away, I don't even need to know, right? If I duplicate this out, right? Now we've got a list. I don't need to add anything else. And I right away will never get confused on, since it's 8 a.m., this is this blue thing, right? Now this one we know is also contextually tied together because the spacing is tighter, right? So this is how we're using spacing, and this is why we need to be very diligent about every detail of our spacing, right? So now let's go into the inside, right? So I'm just gonna copy the style there. We'll call this ingredients. Now I'm purposely not just going exactly to what is over here because I want to kind of like build this on the fly, right? Let's just tone down the contrast a little bit, put it at 70% opacity, and okay. So now we got another gap, right? So we've got, this is like the intro, and then we've got some content down below that are going to be beneath ingredients, right? So we've got ingredients and then what the ingredients are. So again, we have to change the spacing down here, right? So we've got, let's just say like yogurt. Doesn't yogurt have an H or no? I'm gonna just like bounce these out as different items just to like really hit home the spacing tutorial that we're supposed to be having right now. Okay, so look, I could leave it like this, right? This is consistent spacing, and it honestly is okay, right? The size of our text is inherently making it where we kind of know that what's beneath it is tied to this, right? Since they're all similar, the same exact font size, or no? Are they the same font? No. Okay. Close to the same font size. We're going to make it the same. Since they're all the same font size, it kind of helps like associate those things automatically, right? But let's take it a step further by connecting these as a group together as well. So what I'm going to do there is I'm going to do another Shift A, and we're at 10 pixels already. Wait, oh yeah, let's bump this to like more like 12 then. So then this should be 8, right? And then these two, that's 12. But then up here, we should probably go up a bump, right? Maybe even another bump. So I just said some words, some bump words that didn't actually help. Yeah. Hey, LOS, I think I dropped the comment in chat, no? It's bit.ly/rad-live-hangs. No? All right. So what I just did, though, was I refined the spacing. And it's almost imperceptible, the differences between like this, right? We got 12 pixels right here and then 8 pixels right here, though, right? And so, again, we could bump this to, up to 12. But it, it makes the size of the card bigger, which affects the spacing that we have in the rest of the screen. But additionally, we want to where you don't even actually need to read ingredients to know that this stuff is tied together contextually. You know what I mean? Contextual spacing is like the only reason for spacing, right? You could get away with dropping all of this color, and it would still feel, look at this, it still feels cohesive, right? You don't need the box to know that, I mean, you kind of do to know like that this is tied to the Greek. Well, actually, no, you don't. Let's see. Let's test that theory. It's getting tight. It's getting really tight. But that's also because I haven't tightened up this spacing. Let me go tighten up that spacing with that in mind. Hold on. So what would I do for 42? I would bump this to 24. I would bump this down to 32. Maybe even 24 with it. Let's see. Oh, okay. Let's vertical trim it so that way it's like the text is only feeling like literally the size that the text feels. And now we're getting into a little bit awkward. So I went up a bump on 28 and 24. 24 sideways, 28 vertically, right? Okay, now I'm going to drop this and see how it holds up. So let's say this, let's say I'm scrolling through, right? Scrolling through, and I'm like, okay, yeah, I want to read this one. Well, can I tell that this Greek yogurt is tied to this 8 a.m. or is it tied to this one? It's starting to get a little confusing, right? So we might even want to bump this up a whole 8 pixel bump, right? Now it's very, very gapped, right? Where I can tell right away that this is tied to this thing. Are these tips covered in the spacing group tactics covered in the UI course? Yes, they are. They should be. I did a whole section on spacing actually. So a whole module with a bunch of stuff, and then also a work study that's kind of like this too. Yeah. Okay. So will it be okay to create a systematic spacing before starting? Sort of. As you can see, like I kind of winged it, right? I started at this was like closer to, I think that was at 30. Okay, time's up. But let me just finish this up. So we were at 30, and we ended up going to 40. But again, what you need to do as a designer is constantly go back to stuff that you started with and make sure that you bring it up to speed with the new stuff, right? Because as we added more, information here, we needed to go back and bump, like, I needed to increase the spacing between the Greek yogurt and the ingredients label, right? And that was so that I could get a actual visual bump right here between berries and ingredients, and in between ingredients and the 5 ounces, right? And so all that to say, like, as you add, bumps here, add additional layers of grouping to your spacing and all of that stuff. As you're doing that, you need to go back and make sure that everything else on the upper on the DOM is updated as you go, right? And that's basically how I do spacing. Keep it free until you have a system, and then scale out that system on the way out, right? On the zoom way out by 5 ounces is like the lowest level. Then all of the ingredients themselves are the next level up. With the ingredients label is the next level up. With berries or with the name of it is the next level up. Then the card, then the since 8 a.m., then the morning Tyler, right? The whole page, right? There's so many levels that happen on this, and you need to consistently add more auto layout and then tighten up the spacing as you go with those. So curious. So you know how to develop a CSS from that, take photo or video files, and webhook it. Junior, the business developer. What are you saying? Sorry, I didn't understand the way you asked that question. Develop a CSS form that takes a photo or video files and webhook it. Oh, yeah, I do, but that's you couldn't do that from CSS. With a webhook, you would need to use JavaScript for that to actually run the webhook, wouldn't you? To be able to send the data to the webhook. But yeah, okay, that is the tutorial on spacing today. Maybe we'll continue this on later and do more spacing stuff down here. I just think I have a course, and a big part of that course is spacing. However, my thing is every time I'm watching these portfolios, when I do these portfolio reviews, I'm seeing so many spacing issues. And those are the things that when I see somebody who does this well, I don't give a shit if it's black and white. I'm going to give them an interview, right? If they can do this, and me, it might just be me because I've been doing this long enough. But if you get a hiring manager, hopefully they've been doing it long enough to be able to understand these tactics as well. But anyways, when you do that and they review it, they're going to be able to go like this. Wow, okay, they got good spacing tactics. It's that quick that you pick it up because you can see the definition, right? Even though, again, this isn't that big compared to this, you can still tell the difference. Yeah, cool. Next. How's that? Did you guys like that little tutorial there? I usually just do Figma tutorials because they're a little bit simpler to go. That was a theory tutorial. But yeah, maybe I'll start doing more of those as we go. Yeah, I saw somebody over on Instagram ask how often do I do these lives. Right now I'm doing Wednesdays and Fridays at 3:30 Eastern time at PM. So you're having trouble building the form and sending the data. When I send the data, it comes out as text. Yeah. Hey, maybe DM me and we can chat through it a little bit. Okay. Cool. But all right. Let's do some more portfolio reviews. We got 2 more. We got Mohammed Rabi. Or Rabi? Maybe I'm going to go with Rabi. I don't know. I feel like that might be a Rabi. All right. Here we go, Mohammed. You're on the hot seat. You ready? Oh, gosh. All right. Here we are. Let's dig into it. Oh, shoot. I opened Premiere. No, I don't recommend Adobe because of that. Jeez. Okay, here we go. Okay, let's dig into it. Okay. Hey, my name is... Oh, Jesus. I didn't even read that Muhammad at first. I was like, where's your name, dude? That's funny. Okay. Yeah, because of that, the spacing is a little weird on this section. I like that it's a custom-made portfolio, so that's cool. Always good. Front-end developer who loves crafting elegant web solutions that simplify complex problems with a keen eye for detail and commitment to excellence. I like that. That's a good intro. I would say like maybe tone down your name, right? Bring your name back up to here and size this up a little bit because I feel like this is a great line. I like the font that you're using here. What font is that? Uxum Grotesque. Cool. I like that font. I'm gonna check it out after. But yeah, I would say size this down, bring this up. You got a little bit of motion and it's clickable, so that's great. I would say scale of 1 to 10 on this hero section. We've got a solid 7.5. It's good information. I think I just don't really understand this little hover thing. I like it. It's interesting. But maybe if you could move your name down here or, put your name up with this stuff. I don't know. Overall, it's good. I just think that we could tighten up the layout a little bit so that this is the thing that flies. I can't highlight anything right now. So that this thing is the thing that really flies, not your name, right? Not to say that I don't want to know your name, but if I want to know your name, I'll go find it up on this line, right? That's all the same. All right. Front-end developer with affinity for design, intuitive user experience, and pixel-perfect user interface. I like this. Just make this the hero line, right? Because a lot of this was a little bit buzzwordy right here too. So this one's way less. This one's just very, boom, this is what I am. Shut up, I like it. All right. Cool. I always like to see work above the about, right? Because if I want to know more about you, I'm only going to read this really if I'm checking boxes, right? Not again, I know that's pretty cold. I'm not trying to be callous here, but when I'm looking at this, I'm looking at your portfolio amongst 50 other portfolios today, right? At least, right? And so when I jump in here, I'm really looking at this section as a final let me learn more about them. What are they into, kind of stuff, right? But I only care about that amongst the 50 other portfolios if this stuff is good enough for me to want to go look at, right? So that's all I'll say there. Cool. Let's see. Okay, so it just jumps right out to the other sites. Okay, I mean, that's not bad. And the sites are pretty good. I'm in a weird viewport because I'm kind of zoomed in. I'll try zooming out. This is roughly what it'll look like on a desktop, which is great. I think it looks good. And if you design this too, it looks pretty good. However, this is the trouble, is I don't know what you did. Did you do that? Did you do design of that? Just the development? It seems like you just did the development, which would be okay. Not a big deal. I don't know. These kind of look similarly designed. Feels like you designed these too. See, okay, I always rate these sections on custom portfolios. And so because of that, it's close. It's good, crop care, smart. Here's the thing. I don't care about crop care. I don't care about thermal sync. I don't need to know what the thing was. I need to know what you did, right? That's the big thing that I care about as when I'm trying to hire somebody is I'm not I really don't care who Climo is or NVL, right? Unless it's a big ass brand who I'm oh damn, I know who that is. But then again, you don't need to say that it's a desktop banking thing, right? You got a lot of projects, so that's cool. Yeah, it's good. It's good to see that many projects. I think the layout of these, it also is because you put it in a mock-up and every single one is the same exact mock-up layout, it feels really it makes it feel even more fake, these are cool. I like how it's just kind of sporadic. It feels more natural, So yeah, that's it. That's all I can really say though, right? Because there's no strategy involved. I don't know the strategy that went behind all these projects. And I don't even know what you did on these projects. And so because of that, I think you're really going to get a knock here. Or like I think this is like a 3 on the stuff. The designs are okay on the end stuff. It looks like you developed them okay and properly. So if you're trying to get a job as a developer, like you might be able to find that. So that's cool. But from I'm trying to hire this person, and like I need to check my boxes. I can't check any boxes because I just don't know what you did, right? What work you did on these projects. So, yeah, I'll leave it there and catch up on chat. Do you have a quick tip for adjusting the individual spacing on auto layout? Yeah, let's see. So, are you meaning LOS? Hope you're still here. Meaning you have different spacing in the same card. How do you individually change the spacing without adjusting everything? Here's how you do it, and I just did it in here. Is you've got to go multi-level auto layout, right? So I'm gonna ungroup all of these. All right. So now it's consistent spacing on this card, right? So obviously, but what the magic is even at this, it looks okay, right? But it's not optimized. That's the word. It's not optimized. So I think that's what's missing is you've got to put these into a tighter spacing than what's up here. And the only way to do that, though, is you've got to put it in another auto layout. So you grab these and then press Shift A. And then now you can just do these things, right? Where it's still keeping the gap here, which is exactly what we want. So I'm going to undo all that stuff and get back to the final versions that we had there. Cool. So we got 20 pixels, 12 pixels, and then there's even a third group right here because, see, this is 12, but it's only moving the gaps or the whole ingredient list, That's the magic, is multi-level auto layout. So there's one auto layout, 2 layers, and 3. So there's 3 in just this card, and then there's a 4th right here on the card slider, right? We'll probably even like do this, grab these 2, do another auto layout, put those on fixed width. Oh gosh, put these on fixed width. Put that on left aligned. Size that margin down. Here we go. There you go. Now we've got multi-layer auto layout, multi-layer auto layout, multi-layer auto layout. So, yeah, basically just auto layout like crazy. That's the trick. Got you, LOS. By the way, I have a Figma course which dives into all of those tactics. There's a lot more to that, and ideas on how to use like fills and hugs and all that stuff. And so a lot of that I go into on my Figma course. I also have a UI course which goes into all the spacing tactics itself too. So there we go. All right, we'll get into the last portfolio review. Let's do it. We got Paulo Palace. Photo, video, and motion graphics work. Watch show reel. Nice. This is nice. Pretty solid motion graphics. Yeah. I like it, Paulo. Yeah. It's great. It's a good reel. Oh dang, you see that? This doesn't show until I scroll. Right? Did it not show until I scroll? Yeah. You should drop that because this looks really great. I think this looks so good. This is a great hero section. If this was the hero section, this would be a really great hero section. But the fact that it was hidden, it's a bummer. It missed the mark just a little bit. You know what I mean? Also, it's like lazy loaded. Try to not lazy load it if you can. This is a cool section though. I like it. What do you got on these? Full on case. This is cool. This is really great. You got exactly what you did too. My only thing is like, if each of these are clickable, like, and when you hover on these, they should really stop. Like, if I know who the Modest Man is and I'm trying to hire an editor, I would be like, bro, let me go check out which videos they did of that guy, right? And so, but I can't do that if if I just noticed it and I'm like, oh shit, let me click on that. So if these are actual links to case studies, should really be a way to stop scrolling once you get here. And then, yeah, but I mean, otherwise, the actual thing, like the layout is cool. It's interesting. The slidingness is great. There's some motion every once in a while, which is good. It's not too much either. So I really like this section. I think if these were to pause when you hovered on them, it would be a solid 9 out of 10 on this section. Yeah, solid. Really solid. If you stop if it didn't stop, which it doesn't right now, I would say it's a 4. It really kills the UX of it, right? Because like I want to be able to click on this, but if I just missed it, then I have no reason to, no way to click it till it comes all the way back around, which would be super annoying. Great to see some testimonials. That's cool too. I mean, yeah, I love it. I love it. This is a great homepage. Like, probably a really solid 8.5. Solid 8.5. Really good. And then, the trouble that I have is like, so I, am a creator. So I think about editing and all that stuff a lot. And so, when I see stuff like this, like that's how I'm going to judge it on that note, on these actual case studies. Seeing the date of 2021 till now, the fact that you still edit for them, that's amazing. So date, this is where dates are important. I talk all the time about how drop your dates when it's only 4 weeks, because it's not even worth talking about it. But when you've been editing for this person since 2021, that's awesome. That's like as long as you could ever ask for a length period kind of thing. So, service is cool. Yeah, I think that's great. Okay, the thumbnails got it. And then we've got the actual edit you did. That's cool. Okay. I mean, that's great. I think maybe the only thing that you could do better on this is like give me a little bit more juice around your process that you use with Gareth, right? I think that's the one thing I'm missing is like give me some good juice of like, yeah, what if I'm trying to hire you as an editor, what kind of turnaround time would you need? What kind of bandwidth do you have? Like all of those are questions that I would have, and so, but yeah, I mean, I love this little quote. These bars are great here too. Like really cool. I think that this could be great even for a design portfolio, stuff like this where you just get motion shots like as a highlight right here. Then you get random shots of the designs and then some general approach. I think that's cool. Okay, so you do have approach here, adding musical transitions, but not necessarily like the approach that you take when you're actually like working with them. You know what I mean? In production kind of side. So, but really great homepage. I like that homepage a lot. I like it a lot. All right, that was it. We just did 4 portfolio reviews. We did a tutorial and some news, all in the span of an hour and 4 minutes. Guys, that was awesome. You guys want to hang out? Akshay is asking me how to fart, so that's cool. YouTube, what are you doing over there? I just want to show this. Look, let's not get a windowed layout here, but you see this? What kind of question is that, Akshay? Goofball. All right. Any questions for me at all? We could wrap it up kind of early today, but yeah. This is a good live. I was running. I was running a lot today. We covered so much. So, yeah. Who's going to config? Oh, what's up, Burger? Sorry I missed your comment earlier. I wasn't checking TikTok until just now. I'm doing good. Yo. Kiddos are doing good. They're always sick, but besides that, we're jamming. I got a studio now where I go to every day, so I can do these lives without screaming in the background. So, because I've got 3 daughters, and they're young, and so they are very loud all the time. But yo, well, awesome, y'all. I'm gonna probably head on out. This is good live. I had some fun.